Right, someone's set fire to the van that's just down the road behind me.
Quickly, let's go back. Quickly, go.
These are just a few of the many camping encounters caught on camera. Case number 1. Shawu Production is a YouTube channel known for sharing thrilling wildlife adventures. One notable adventure took place in October 2014 when a group ventured into the African savanna to capture wildlife footage. Initially, the adventure went smoothly. However, things took a disturbing turn when they spotted a lion in the open fields. Take a look for yourself.
Quickly, let's go back. Quickly, go. Go. Get on!
It's important to note that the shots fired were not aimed directly at the lion. Rather, they were warning shots intended to scare it away. Thankfully, the lion eventually retreated, and no one was harmed in the process, aside from the chills that ran down their spines. Case number 2. In South Carolina, a man was relaxing in his home when he started to hear strange noises coming from his backyard. Intrigued by the unusual sounds, he decided to step outside and investigate what was going on.
I hope you can hear this. It sounds like gorillas fighting in the tree. They're breaking limbs bigger around than me. I've never seen anything like it in my life. This is the second time I've come over here. And the first time when I got up under them trying to figure out what it was, they started breaking limbs off and throwing them at me. And I still cannot figure out what it is. Look, they're ruining this freaking place. What in God's name is it? It's bigger than me, whatever it is. Because it's breaking limbs off that it would take me 2 minutes to saw. Look, see, he's coming right above me right here. He's fixing to throw something at me, whatever it is. Yeah, they don't like you messing with them. Look. What in God's name is going on? Look, that's bigger than me. Look at that. What in Jesus' name is doing this? Oh my God, he just took half the tree down. something. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, it's gotta be a, I don't even think a bear would have a chance in Hades and it doing this. It's something stronger than a bear. And he is pissed. Yeah, that's a healthy tree. About 8 to 10, maybe even 12 inches in diameter that he just broke because he's pissed because I'm getting close to him. I think I'm gonna bounce because I think he just hit the ground, which means he's about to face me on foot. And I don't really want to wrestle with somebody that can tear trees down just because they're mad. My God, look at the tree he just freaking broke in half.
The damage to the tree looks like it was caused by a strong animal, like a gorilla or a chimpanzee. However, it isn't related to the escaped lab monkeys from South Carolina, so it's unclear what caused it. Worried about a possible threat, the man decided to go inside his house and wait for things to calm down. Eventually, the noise stopped. What do you think he might have seen? Case number 3. This clip is from YouTuber Ads Ventures, who typically explores with curiosity and a lighthearted approach. However, on June 23, 2025, he faced a sudden and destructive event that threw him into a much darker situation.
We're on an extremely, and I stress, extremely important mission like no other. Unless, of course, somebody's done a mission that's similar before, then it's a mission like another. But anyway, we're on a mission. We've got to get down to the Kent coast. In fact, I might be lying about that. I think it might be East Sussex. Either way, we're going down to Rye. I've put the location into the sat-nav, so without further ado, let's let this mission commence, albeit extremely slowly. Oh, I haven't come as far as Rye because I looked on the map and parking there seemed like a bit of a nightmare. There's height barriers on all the car parks. So we're in a place now called Winchelsea, or we're near Winchelsea anyway. I think we're on the way there. We should be there in 1 minute. And because the antique shop is going to be shut today already, I'm thinking we're just going to rock up here, have some dinner, which is something I've never had before, by the way, and then from there we can go on to this shop in the morning. I found this one here. I don't know if I trust it. Is it wide enough? Far enough from the danger of the road? I reckon it probably is, right?
He picked a quiet spot away from the main road, thinking it was safe. But as evening came and he was having dinner, a presence waited just outside his van, causing trouble.
I'm so confused about what's going on outside, right? Look at this. What is that? It looks like smoke coming out. Right, hold on a second. This is bad. Right, some lorry was just outside mine. Or just out the front. I swear that's a fire. That is not clouds. What is happening? It is. What is happening? Right, so I'm trying to film me at the same time as filming the fire up there. Something bad's happened, obviously. I know who it was because there was someone on my CCTV. It was all a bit weird. I'll tell you about it in a minute. I'm going to go speak to this bus driver.
As the severity of the situation became evident, a profound sense of unease enveloped him, suggesting that there was something far more troubling at play than just an accidental fire.
Down near Winchelsea Beach, there's a fire involving a caravan by the looks of it.
Peneville Road.
Okay, thank you, my love. They've had several more calls. I've just rang them, and basically they are on their way.
Right.
They have had more calls.
I'm just going to go spin my van around in case someone comes back and does that to my van, because someone's done that.
It has looked like it has been done.
Well, it has been done because the geezer just ran past me, jumped in his motor and sped off that way.
It could be Arson then.
Right, someone set fire to the van that's just down the road behind me. And it was the person who was parked in front of me. I'll explain more in a minute. But I need to move my van in case they're going to do it to mine. When I was eating my second toastie, I looked up on the CCTV and I saw a van just parked up in front of me. Now, bear in mind that I'd chosen to park in this particular lay-by because it's a small one. Now, some of these lay-bys up here are absolutely massive. There's other small ones as well, but there's plenty of them, right? So I thought, if I park there where that car was, that's where we were, no one's going to come into this spot because there's just no need for it. And whilst I was eating, I looked up on my CCTV, like I said, and I saw a van was parked there. Now, I was going to get out of the van and make a joke about it. I was going to say, how dare they park in my driveway and all this, just for a laugh. But before I had a chance to do that, I was finishing my food, and like I said, this geezer ran past the van that way and up here. Now, as soon as I heard his footsteps running and panting past my van, I looked up on the CCTV. I was like, what's that about? Why is someone out for a run at this time of night? But I saw that he jumped straight into his van and sped off, which I thought was a bit weird, and I was wondering why. But in my head, I just come to the conclusion that maybe he'd been caught short. He needed the toilet, and he'd run up onto the beach, done his business, and then he jumped back in the van and just carried on his journey. So I looked back on the camera, and I saw a light on the front camera and a light on the rear camera. Now, that's not out of the blue. I thought it was just headlights coming down the road. One of them was. It was a bus that was coming down this road here. That's the bus that you saw last night. And the other light was up there, which turned out to be the fire, but at the time I thought it was another headlight coming down. But then I noticed the light from the back of the van was getting brighter, and there were some clouds, right? Now, bearing in mind, it's a split screen, so it was really small what I was looking at. I could see these dark clouds coming over, and I was like, that doesn't look normal. It was a bit weird. And then I put it onto channel 2 so I could see the whole thing full screen, and obviously that's when I realised it looked like a fire. That's when I hit record on this camera. So from that point onwards, you saw everything unfold as it happened. But last night, after checking my CCTV, I found out what happened prior to all of that. He got out of his van from here. He's walked along past my van, and he has approached the stairs which lead up towards the beach. So he's made his way up those stairs, and he's come along the top bit here. Now, as he's got to about this point right here, you can see him on my camera. He bends down and he's sort of preparing something. He's probably got, I don't know, petrol in his lighters or whatever. But basically, he's doing something up on this spot here where he's sort of ducking down and looking in his bag or whatever it is. Now, he's doing that for about 30 seconds, and then he starts heading down this ramp here, back towards the spot over here where the fire took place. So now he's back down on the road here, and he's not far from where the inferno took place. And as you can see, it is just here in front of us. Now, at this point, you can't really see exactly what he does, but that's the last I see of him for a while, because what I think must have happened, there were cars coming up and down this road at the time, so he's probably just wanted to get away from this as quick as possible, and he's taken this route up here, so I couldn't see that bit on the camera, and I didn't spot him again for a while until he was further back there. Next time you see him on the CCTV, he's literally standing up there on the bank next to his van, and he's sort of looking back, probably to check that the fire's started properly. And once he realises his mission is complete, that's when he runs back down the steps past my van at an extraordinary rate. And that is obviously the point where I first heard him in person, and then he's jumped back into his van and disappeared into the night.
The realization that this was no accident, but a deliberate act, is enough to scare any van lifer. Without wasting much time, he quickly moved his van and decided to leave that area that night, as the fear of the culprit returning was too much to bear. Although no one was hurt, the camper van was destroyed by the fire. This incident serves as a reminder that danger can arise at any time, no matter where you are. It's very important to be cautious and vigilant about our surroundings. Case number 4. On July 15th, 2022, the abandoned camper shared a video of stealth camping in an old cemetery. Initially normal, the mood changed as night fell, and the experience turned eerie. She thought she was alone in the woods until she heard what sounded like kids screaming. However, she realized her mistake when she spotted them on her way back to camp.
There's a bunch of mulberries on the ground. So if you can't tell, it's pretty dark here right now, but there are kids here, like young kids in the cemetery. And I'm wondering how active this place actually is. Do people come here at night and kind of party in the forest or something? Anyways, I'm heading back to my spot. That dog. Here. Let me see what I've got going on. Hi. Okay, so that dog kind of ruined it. Not ruined it, I shouldn't say that. The dog barking, I didn't want to disturb anybody, especially since I'm not supposed to be here. So I think I'll finish my exploring tomorrow morning. And because there seems to be still a lot of stuff here. See? Hear them? I think they know I'm here. That's not good. Fuck. I'm gonna keep this recording. Just in case. But I'm also gonna stop and find out what they're doing, if they're actually watching me or not. Oh, I can see them. Maybe they're just walking through.
Once she returned to her hidden campsite, she attempted to prepare a meal, but it ended up being a significant blunder.
I just had to put out the fire because there are people walking around back here. They don't have headlamps on, but like I said in my last video, I do not like being around people in the middle of a forest, especially when it's dark out. So I might pack up and get out of here when I think the coast is clear. Okay, I'm packed up. I'm ready to go.
The children's intentions remain unclear and, likely, we'll never know for sure. She wisely chose to minimize any potential risk by gathering her belongings and leaving the cemetery quickly. Case number 5. While wandering along a secluded trail in the woods, a man and his friends unexpectedly encountered something deeply unsettling. Fortunately, they documented the entire experience on camera.
Taruh dia.
An old woman slowly approached them, her glowing eyes cutting through the darkness and creating a creepy atmosphere. Even though the group argued and seemed unsure about her threat, there was something distinctly off about her that sent chills down their spines. Case number 6. In July 2016, YouTuber LPZ went on a camping trip, which quickly turned serious when night fell. At 2 a.m., he woke to the sound of wildlife. His curiosity pushed him to get in his car for a better look at the lion, but fear of an attack held him back. The night was eerily silent, broken only by the roar of the lion. He, however, managed to sleep, but was surprised by what he found at daybreak. The lion wandered around his tent throughout the night and into the early morning. Eventually, he ventured into the wilderness, managing to leave the area unscathed. This is a night he would certainly never forget. And for more disturbing encounters like this, watch this next video now.